Greetings and welcome back. Thank you for being a part of the program on this Tuesday, December the 8th. A cold one out there. I spent much of the day outside today. Wasn't all news related, but had to be outside and some of it in when the wind blew and you were in the shade. Man, you felt it. Well, that should be my best way, I guess it is, of setting you up for tomorrow's forecast. I've heard more than one reference today to the movie The Polar Express because that's the trip we're all just about to take. The cold front that we've been talking about and dealing with now, it's pretty much gone, but it has pulled in a lot of Arctic air. And tomorrow we'll see the coldest temperatures that we've seen since this past February. So bundle up tomorrow if you're out and about. And of course, a lot of folks will. It might slow you down, but of course, the weather doesn't necessarily stop everything that has to go on. On tonight's program, there are a couple of things that we're going to talk about in our top headlines tonight. One thing I can tell you for tomorrow night's show, I have plans on tomorrow early sitting down with a local man who has now enlisted, joined the services, and he's home for a few days before his orders will take him elsewhere in the country, and I'm looking forward to sharing his inspiration for joining and some other details about that tomorrow, as well as a couple of other reports that we began today that we hope to have ready to air on tomorrow's program. But tonight, we'll talk about how you can help. Next time you're out shopping, pick up a new toy, maybe even some gently used ones that you can share as well, and how you can simply drop them off at a Sagersville business. And it's with a very heavy heart tonight that we have to talk about the passing of the owner of a Sagersville business, who was killed in a hunting accident just days ago. It actually took place in another part of Kentucky, and even though we are actually kind of close to them for some reasons that I'll share with you, I only learned of his passing earlier today in the family speaking with his now widow. Just a heartbreaking story that we'll pass along to you in just a few moments. With that said, I've got, of course, more on your weather, much more on your calendar, and more news to follow some of these messages. I'll be right back. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. I think it's safe to say that we're all aware that Christmas doesn't always bring the greatest of cheer to everyone. And I think it's also safe to say that we all have it in our hearts to help out and share a little spirit. So while you're out doing your holiday shopping, running errands on a daily basis, what have you, and doing whatnot throughout the rest of the Christmas season, if you have the opportunity, stop by any of our local stores, pick up an extra toy or two, maybe not an extra toy, maybe you're past that stage, but pick up a toy or two, drop it in your shopping cart, and then drop it off as you pass the Sagersville Funeral Home, where once again they're collecting donations of toys and gifts in what they figure to be their biggest year for this drive so far. It's actually the fourth year of the Christmas drive at Dyer's Sagersville Funeral Home, something that grew out of a desire to help meet the need of some holiday wishes, something that has grown each year as the need has as well.
We're actually very excited. We just really started this week, and so far so good. We are asking for any gently used toys or new toys, any ages. There's always some older kids. Not having kids that old, any help in that department I would highly appreciate. Any new or gently used jacket or anything for the outside is also appreciated. We do have that going as well.
Brian says that actually coats and outerwear turned out to be just as big of a part of the drive last year, and he expects it to be just as much of a part of it this year too.
Absolutely. With the employment rate down even more, especially with the coal industry and Continental being gone, the need is there. The phones ring all day. We've had people stop in, dropping names off already. Just anything people can do to help us help, the kids here in McGoffin County or the people in need is just highly appreciated. Without the donors and we couldn't have done this without them. They've been more than great the last 4 years, and we're hoping that this year's even bigger and better. Going to bring here to the office here at the Sagersville Funeral Home. I'm here till 8 till 4. If it's after hours, don't hesitate to call me, and I can definitely come back down. It's not a problem. We will be doing this up to Christmas. We were actually delivering Christmas Day last year. It's just, we want it's all about the kids, and it's all about the families out there that need it. And even after Christmas last year, we had a few jackets, and we made sure they found the right people in the right homes.
Brian says they rely on the schools to kind of give them some guidance as to where the gifts need to go. He says also some folks come in and bring them some ideas of some kids or families that they might want to visit as well. He also says they couldn't do this drive without new toys and those gently used toys. Right now, they're a little lopsided with the gently used versus the new toys. So if it's something that you have the means to do and you feel like picking up a new toy or two the next time you're out, regardless, the need is there. The folks are there to help spread this cheer and make sure the gifts get to where they need to go. So if you can help in any small or even big way, they would certainly appreciate your stopping by the Sagersville Funeral Home. More news in a minute. Right now, some best wishes starting off tonight's birthday announcement. Starting off tonight's community calendar is a birthday announcement. You know what I meant. Happy 17th birthday, Douglas Bailey. From Mom, your sisters, your brother, your friend Arthur. Happy birthday. Happy 17th, it says, to Douglas Bailey today. Happy birthday. A reminder on your Farm Bureau community calendar that tomorrow is the last day to register for the 4-H Country Ham Project. Just $40 per ham. This is a great thing for the kids, the whole family. All you have to do is go up to the Extension Service tomorrow, register, and then come back 2 or 3 times throughout the year. You'll learn everything, all the science and history and everything about the process of curing a ham. A reminder, the Montgomery County Order of Eastern Star, my apologies, is having their annual Christmas party this Saturday at 6 o'clock. That's this Saturday, 6 o'clock. And if you bring a child, please bring a gift for Santa to hand out. And they're also doing an ornament exchange if you'd like to participate in that as well. A lot of holiday events coming up on the calendar, and of course, in the next several days, the Mingle Jingle, sponsored by the Extension Homemakers, is coming up next Tuesday. This is just for everyone who would like to attend. Invite your spouses, family to come with you. If your last name is A through M, bring a dessert. N through Z, bring a veggie or a salad. They also normally do an ornament exchange, but instead this year they're asking for a donation for the community service project that they have going on for the Kentucky Mountain Bible Teen Center here in Sagersville. Patchwork Play Dates is open for children ages infants to 5 years of age, and they're having their Christmas party Tuesday as well, 10 till noon. Their Christmas program has been set for the 22nd, a little later on, closer to the holidays. Water into Wine, the food pantry over on Route 30 at the Lakefront Church of God, will be distributing this coming Wednesday from 8:30 till 3 with an hour break there in the middle. And if you're picking up for someone else, they always want me to remind everyone, bring their pantry card, bring us something with their signature, a note, and then, of course, the date and the phone number as well. Just makes things go a lot easier and faster for everybody. And the Christmas Gala is coming up, sponsored by the Montgomery County Cattle Association. It's going to be at the high school. They're going to have entertainment from the choir of the high school, the Sagersville Grade School Choir, and Hands of Worship, and a big turkey dinner as well. All the proceeds go to funding a scholarship presented to a Montgomery County High School graduating senior. Get your tickets by calling Becky Allen at the high school. 2011 would be that number off the top of my head. Seems like I call it quite often. Call this number, drop it in the mail, find me on Facebook, however you want to get it to me. Birthdays, anniversaries, and announcements like you just heard can best be heard here for free. All you have to do is tell me about them first. Turning to funeral announcements brought to you by the Montgomery County Funeral Home, a reminder of services to be held Saturday for 65-year-old Lindsey Wheeler of Little Fork Road, survived by his companion and mother of his children, Judy Gamble Wheeler, also son Michael Wheeler and daughter Wendy. Visitation is after 6 this evening, all day Friday, and prior to Saturday services that will start at 1, all from the Montgomery County Funeral Home. And we've learned today of the passing of 24-year-old Justin Edward Blanton of Elizabethton. He was preceded in death by his father, Scott. He's survived by his mother, Wendy Tackett Hancock, as well as his wife, Alexis Sizemore Blanton. He fraternal grandparents, he is preceded in death by his grandfather, Danny Blanton. He's survived by Edwina Thomas, and maternal grandparents, Marlo Tackett and Maddie Roberts, both deceased. He's also survived by 5 brothers. Services are going to be here in McGoffin County. There's going to be a graveside service held next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. The arrangements under the care of the McGoffin County Funeral Home. I have to say that it's with a very heavy heart that I have to share the following news with you that we just learned earlier today, that being me and myself and my parents, about a Sagersville business owner who's passed away after a hunting accident just a few days ago. Even though we're just now learning of the accident, we actually met the Latins several months ago. In fact, Herbert and his wife Leah have been renting a property of ours, the double wide that my mom, Papa, Bertha, and Edgar used to live in next to the Lee's Famous Recipe. It's there that they established a branch of lumber logistics to repurpose barnwood and resell. And they've established quite a business in doing so. A large inventory can be seen from the roadway passing by, and you can almost always see the Latins out front and their kids. Actually, they just had their 4th child just a few weeks ago. And actually, I was holding off this commercial until they kind of got through the birth of that child and got a little rest and relaxation to follow, so they could accommodate for more business that they were expecting and hoping for. While the logs of our ancestors brought to the mills 100 years ago to build houses, barns, farms for generations have all been weathered by time and Mother Nature, you may assume them worthless and to have served their purpose. But the Latins, 4th-generation lumberjacks, see them as vintage, seasoned, and ready for the next century. Don't burn or throw away that old barnwood when it can be reclaimed, restored, and recycled for cash. And that was the business that they had built over a long period of time and had brought to Sagersville and McGoffin County, and were doing quite well, and indeed a family tradition to some degree over a century. From what I understand, Kentucky State Police from Post 15 got a call Sunday on the 27th. It's around 8 o'clock that morning or shortly after about a shooting that had happened on Cedar Flat Road. It's in Metcalfe County. The Kentucky Fish and Wildlife officers and the state troopers that responded to the scene then called for the coroner as well. It was there that they found 35-year-old Herbert N. Latin of Edmonton. He and his 10-year-old son were hunting. They were found about a half mile off of the roadway in the woods. Herbert had passed away from a single gunshot wound to the head. Authorities at this time and still are saying that no foul play is expected, while the accident is still under investigation by Fish and Wildlife officers. The incident took place on the Rachel Snow Farm, which is on Cedar Flat Curtis Road, which is also the same road that Mr. Latin lived on. He reportedly passed away from that single gunshot wound to the head. We understand that the weapon was described as a 12-gauge shotgun. His 12-year-old son, we know, was with him. We don't believe he was injured in any form or fashion as a result of the shooting. Other information and details have not been released as of yet, except to say that, once again, it's still under investigation. Indeed, just a heartbreaking story and situation. And once again, of course, our thoughts and prayers are with the Latins and their family at this time. We may know more about their plans for the future at some point, but as of right now, of course, understandably, they're just going through the grieving process, and I'm sure will for quite some time. With that said, I'm going to go to your weather forecast right now, and we're going to do things just a bit out of sorts for the rest of the show, maybe filling in a spot here in just a few seconds. So for now, let's go ahead and talk about that Arctic air, some of which you got a little bit of a taste of today, but definitely more so tomorrow. Yeah, this cold air continues to fall into the southeast and the viewing area. The cold front that actually brought it all this way is pretty much already left town, but even though it brought a few flurries for some folks, I didn't see any, but some folks in Kentucky did. Now it's just a bunch of cold air left behind, and indeed, it is Arctic air for the next few days. Pretty much high pressure is going to build up, and it will leave some clear skies to a significant degree. And the cold air will later be followed by a bit of some precipitation, possibly, and a warmer weekend. As for tonight, let's just begin there. It's always a good place. 31 right now, and holding, if you're catching the end of the early show, 21 is where we should wind up tonight. We'll also see more clouds as they are continuing to increase. I think nothing more than a wind out of the west, 5 to 9 miles per hour. I'm clocking it right now at about 4 or so. For your Friday, 29 degrees, maybe. Some folks won't be that lucky. No, they won't be that lucky tomorrow. And you also have to realize that I don't expect it to feel 29. I think it's actually going to feel a bit colder. We'll see partly cloudy skies tonight and temperatures dip down to the teens. We've seen the teens already a couple of times, but tomorrow's air indeed is the coldest that we have seen since going back to last February. It's going to be the coldest day we've seen, and no one was really liking today that I saw out there. As for the weekend, Saturday will recover to the tune of about 4 degrees, low 30s at best, clear, mostly sunny during the day. Clouds will increase Saturday night. They'll do so in front of another weather maker. That will warm things back up, and we'll get to average and then above, actually, at the start of next week. So the latter half of your weekend, right now, we've got a 30% chance of some showers on Sunday. That's mainly after 3 o'clock, and that's about 43 degrees for daytime highs. The chance of showers, though, it more than doubles by Sunday night.